If you are a coach who feels like you're really good at coaching, but you're totally stuck on the marketing part of your business, this video is going to absolutely unlock everything for you. Hey there, my name is Ashley, and welcome to Ashley Stays in Her Lane, which is my interview series where I bring in experts outside of my own zone of genius so you can build a business that's really well-rounded and works for you. If we haven't met yet, my lane is systems and automations. I'm an Airtable and automations expert, and I really believe deeply in how much time, energy, and mental space that strong systems and automations can help you and support your business. I have so many resources on this channel about systems, but the truth is, systems alone don't build a sustainable coaching business. There's so many other moving pieces. And in this episode of Ashley Stays in Her Lane, I'm really excited to be talking to Caryn Gillen all about how to make coaching a part of your marketing. If you're like me, marketing has always felt like, for me, like this big thing that always it's like I'm good at the service providing part of my business. I'm good at the coaching part of my business, but now I have to become a marketer and become a salesperson. Caryn totally just neutralizes all of that and has some amazing strategies on how to really make coaching a part of your marketing. This is an incredible episode. I really got so much out of this myself just in this interview. Caryn is incredible and helps coaches working to replace their corporate income design a calm, consistent business strategy that works with their actual life. I got so much out of this interview, and I'm sure you will as well. If you have any aha moments or if there's something that you're going to implement from this, please drop it in the comments below, and we'll be sure to respond and enjoy this episode, and we'll see you at the end. Caryn, thank you so much for being here. I already introduced you a little bit at the top, but go ahead and introduce yourself and share with us who you help and what your lane is.
My lane is business coaching for coaches, specifically coaches who have left professional careers or corporate and they want to replace their income using their coaching practice to do that.
Love it. And what would you say is like, I'm curious, so many things, because I remember being like a baby business owner and a baby coach. What are some of like the first steps that people need to be thinking about when they are launching their business for the first time?
The first thing you need to remember is that you're not a baby and that your business, right? Your business might be new, but you are not. And you have this history and this beautiful human experience and relationships and connections to draw on that will provide the starts to a really sustainable business for you.
I think that's such a helpful reminder, because even as, like you said, people are moving from corporate or they're moving from other careers, and the coaching industry can feel so new and scary and intimidating because you see people with amazing followings having these huge launches, and to remind yourself that you might be new to this, but you're not new to your expertise.
Right.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah. I mean, what works for us we're talking about staying in your lane or my lane, right? Like what has always worked for us in the lane of being who we are, whether we were playing basketball in high school, babysitting, taking our first job at the newspaper, like there were things that leave clues that will always have connections to the success that makes the business that you have now work. So I think it's great we've added a new tool to our tool belt and we're coaches, and maybe that's a big part of who we are, but everything is related. And I think we can figure out a way to make money from all of it.
Yeah. And I even think about, I was an event producer. I was a tour manager for a rock band. I ran a summer camp for adults, like the operations and customer service side.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that stuff feels so random. But when I look at it, I'm like, I teach systems and operations. It's like taking the chaos
Same.
of creatives is all the same. And to really kind of just neutralize, like, you're actually a lot closer to being that expert coach than you might think.
Right. Yeah. And I think the other side of it is like, I was talking with a group of coaches this morning, and when we are coaches and we're like, I'm so good at coaching, I just want to coach. Now I have to go become a marketer.
Yeah.
I like to just like scratch that whole thing and say, what if you just stay a coach and let people feel you and see you and like invite them in and stop trying to become somebody different just to market yourself? Because I just see that stop so many people in their tracks too.
And that's really what I want to talk to you about today. And that's something that I'm actually, even now, 5 years in, I'm still going through that, because also as a coach, and a business owner, there's this pressure, at least I think people say this a lot. You have to be all the things. You have to be a social media manager. You have to be the CEO. You have to be your bookkeeper sometimes. You have to be the coach. And you say, like, we're coaches. We want to coach more, and but we do have to market. And this idea that you have of making coaching your marketing already, I was like, oh, it can be so much easier than being like, now I have to learn the skill set of marketing. Tell me about how you can make coaching your marketing, because I think that's so brilliant.
Yeah. If we take it a few steps back, most of us, we start coaching or we start our business, and then we think we have to become all these different roles. And what we see when we go out and we look and we research and we have all of the Instagram pitches coming at us in our feed all day long is basically directed at content marketers.
Mm.
And what I want to highlight is, as coaches, we are not online business owners. We are relationship business owners with an online presence. And I think that that distinction really helps people to pull away from thinking about strategies to scale to 7 figures, or things that you might have to do if you had a $7 product and you needed to have a list of 10,000 people to make any money. Like, we can get so far based on solid relationships and not that many of them, and small lists in like I often think that the list size that I've always had in my business is ridiculous for the amount of money I've been able to make from it, right?
Yeah.
Because what we're doing isn't selling a $127 course.
Right. And I know that as people listen to this, they're going to think like, okay, but I'm new. Uh, Caryn, how much should I price my services at? When you say like, we're not selling $127 courses, like what is the standard maybe business model or kind of package do you recommend new coaches start with?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're really doing the field a disservice if we're charging less than probably $125 an hour. And if you think about loaded hourly rates, people, when they go and they work a job, they might be taking home $57 an hour, but what they don't realize is what it costs to employ you is over 100.
Yeah.
Right. And we're the ones then paying our insurance and paying for computers, paying for a Zoom, doing all that stuff. So I really think to keep all of us working and healthy, like happy and healthy, we got to bump it up a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's super fair. Okay. So I want to know, as I'm asking for a friend, which is all of our YouTube friends, but also for me, is
Yeah.
you have some coaching clients
Mhm.
and you're coaching them maybe one-on-one, or you have a small group. And then you have to say, okay, now I need more. I need my roster to stay up, but I don't know how to market and how to post and how to get those extra clients. How do you tangibly make your coaching that you're already doing work with your marketing?
Yeah. I like to think about it as like, okay, what happens backstage? What's happening with your clients in private? And how do we, and like the things that they really love about what you do and the things that get them really great results? And how do we take what happens behind those closed doors that no one ever gets to see, unless your client very generously gives you a very specific testimonial, which is one way you can make your coaching or marketing. But how do we take those behind the scenes things and put them on the front stage? And so some of the ways that I do that are like, how do I bring someone onto my podcast and coach them live so that people can sit back in their car and listen and hear how that feels and get a sense of what it might be like to work with me. And I'm not marketing to them and I'm not saying you should call me right now. It's just feel this, let it land. You'll know when you need me, kind of that experience as one example.
Yeah, that's super tangible too. And sometimes I think, how do I want to say this? Sometimes people get really scared about giving away everything, like showing too much because like, oh, well, they're not a client yet. They haven't paid me. So I should kind of keep this close to my chest. But I've also found when I do kind of those free coaching, I used to do Instagram lives. I would do a client results audit and clean up with clients. So I would have them come to an Instagram live for those who are brave enough for me to tear up their client results live on a call. But it was helpful for other clients to be able to see like, oh, this is how Ashley would coach me. This is the type of advice, and like, I really resonate with this, or like, oh, she was too mean. Like, you get
Yeah.
to kind of see that coaching style. And I think that's just so simple, like tangibly to be able to say, hey, client, here's a Zoom link. We're going to record this. I'm going to put it up on your socials. You get free coaching. I get free content. And that is something, if you're a coach, that's sometimes a lot easier to do than to think of a hook and a blog, like,
Yeah.
all of that, like the standard marketing. So I love that. It's so simple, but I think it's often like it's overlooked.
Yeah, and I think you're right when you say it's brave of them. So, like,
Mhm.
anytime I think like, "Oh, I'm giving away too much," I'm like, "No, these people are being incredibly brave, and this is a gift to all of us." And
Mhm.
I think the other thing to remember is, like, the client you're coaching live, they're getting probably, like, one substantial takeaway for themselves, and everybody who's listening, they're only probably taking one takeaway too.
Yeah.
And it might be different for every single person, but it's not like we're giving away a 6-month coaching package. They're just getting that it's still just a taste, even though they're seeing the whole of one session. It's nowhere near what you're able to do when you have like a long-term relationship with someone and you're able to track their patterns and do all the things we can do in those longer coaching packages.
Yeah, I think that a a way to help make coaching or marketing is thinking like it should be easy for my potential clients to get a taste of my coaching and my coaching
Right.
style, and I think that that's a great way to do that. Something that I've done in the past, I'm curious if this is something you recommend. It's just something I've been thinking about this, how to make my coaching, my marketing, um, thing a lot recently because I can fall off the wagon and, like, not post
Yeah.
up for a long time,
Mhm.
and I find I am so energized right after a coaching call, like, and it's not that I don't need to always record the call and post that on socials, but just baking in 5 to 10 minutes afterwards to be like, "I just wrapped up a systems over trust group call. Here are some of the themes of the things that we talked about." You don't need to say, "This person was struggling." I'm gonna drop her
Yeah.
name and drop her exact struggle, but you can kind of talk about the themes of the call. So even
Mhm.
just taking that excited energy of the call and talking about it, can be a helpful practice too.
I think that's the best, and that's what I recommend in the beginning too. It's like every single client someone has in the beginning, if you only have 3 of those a week or whatever, it's like take that call, and then after you're done, go get on something and go live and talk about it, and go write your email for the week, and go make a social post for in a few days from now, and use all of that energy and all of that content.
Yeah, because what it seems like to me is if you look at it the right way, and I love that you called it out so quickly, it's like you're not a baby business owner, you don't have to be a marketer, just like you should never run out of things to talk about if you're coaching. If you
Right.
have
Yeah.
clients, you're coaching clients, you should always have marketing content
Yeah.
because you can pull so many gems from the actual coaching that you're doing.
Yeah. And I think it highlights this other thing, like what we're always doing as coaches is we're reacting and responding to what's in front of us. So even if you don't have clients yet, but you want to start talking, go read like an article and talk about when I think through this kind of article, this is what would come up with for me as a coach and just
Mhm.
share that. Like the inspiration is everywhere. And I think the unique thing that each of us can always bring is what is my coaching perspective on that?
Yeah.
And that's a different way of looking at the world than people are used to. And that's the kind of thing that can give them that moment of like, oh, I think that person could help me. I'm going to reach out to them.
Yeah. I even think of, yeah, because if you're a brand new coach and you might not have coaches like clients yet,
Mhm.
my friend Dulcie, she's an AI custom GPT expert. And I saw she posted a thread recently that said, I don't watch Love Island, but apparently something is happening on Love Island and a girl is spinning out. She had a thread that said, um, this girl is about to walk into the world because I guess you don't have social media. Like she's about to walk into the world and the whole world hates her. Here is the type of custom GPT I would make to help her regulate her nervous system. And so bringing in like a how would
Yeah,
you
pop
coach
culture.
this pop culture? Like how would you coach Justin Bieber right now? Like he's
Right.
going through something. And like
Yeah.
being able to, if pop culture is your thing, that's was such a unique way to like, I
Mhm.
love that idea of putting your coaching perspective and making that content too.
Yeah, because one of the things people are constantly doing is they're judging themselves and they think they're the worst person at basically everything,
Mm.
and we all know they're not. But so when we're able to outside show people like, here's how I see the world, and it's this really kind, open, non-judgmental, creative way of looking at the world, people, clients, they're like, wait a minute, I think maybe there's room for me here too. I don't have
Yeah.
to be perfect to go and get coaching, which a lot of people think they need to be.
Yeah, 100%. Something else that you've talked about, and I've seen you mention, is hosting a free like coaching call once a month or once a quarter. That's another really unique way to do it. Can you talk more? But I think especially if you maybe don't have a lot of clients yet and having that free option, tell me about that strategy and how you've seen that work with your clients.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can get really hung up trying to like create a perfect webinar script or have the best title for a masterclass, and then people don't take any action. But I know that if I put any coach into a room of people who wanted to be coached, they'd be like, bring it on. I can do this. I've got
Mhm.
this. Right. So it's really just like letting yourself be powerful in the room and do what you know how to do and bring anybody who's interested. Like, and that might be in the beginning, you're making individual reach outs to your friends saying, hey, I'm doing this thing. Would you mind showing up? Because I don't know if anybody else will. Or sometimes you have a list of 1,000 people and you could have a really fun call with 30 people getting some
Yeah.
fun coaching out there. And again, it's just that opportunity for people to feel what you are like as a coach without having to pay you for it or be completely committed. So it's just a much safer way for them to understand how you work.
I think that's a brilliant thing to do too, as if coaching is your marketing, when you see coaches who are doing these webinars, I have and the hook is perfect and they have, here's what you're going to learn and here's what you're going to take away. And they have these branded slides that can feel very overwhelming to me as an established business owner, but
Mhm.
also to a coach where it's like, you don't know, are you going to get this right? Are people going to come? Are people going to resonate with this? But even just saying, I'm doing a free coaching call on this specific theme,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that is so incredibly low lift. And I know if you are a coach, that is so much less pressure than perfecting webinar slides, like you were saying. And I
Yeah.
think that's just a brilliant thing to do. And again, taking away that, oh my God, I should I should I really should be charging for this. I can't believe I'm doing free coaching. Coaches do free webinars all the time. So just to
Mhm.
treat it as an open-ended webinar can kind of take away that pressure of
Right.
I'm not charging enough for this, or I'm giving myself away for free. I hear that a lot with people, and I think using those as marketing opportunities, I think is really smart.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that comes up a lot is people have learned so much about tactics for bigger businesses.
Mhm.
And they'll be like, I can't do that because that's not scalable.
Yeah.
And there is so much coaching to be done before you ever have to worry about being scalable. So I would just be really wary of any thought you're thinking about a bigger business in the future holding you back from the business you have today.
Yes, and as a systems expert, I couldn't agree with that more. I'm always teaching people to pick software and systems that can scale with you. But if you are at a point where we're not talking you need to scale to, will this work on a 5,000 client level? It's like, will this work if your client load goes from 1 to 5?
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
systems are meant to evolve and they will break as your business grows. There's ways to get around that, but I think that's a really smart thing to think of is well, what if 100 people come to my free coaching calls and I don't have enough time for people? It's like, man, if you can't get
Awesome.
5 people yet, then let's talk about that.
Right.
That's a good problem to have. We'll figure that
Right.
out.
Exactly. Feel free to
So
have the call go for 2.5 hours too. Like we don't have to
exactly.
hang up.
Yeah. I'm curious, after you used a lot of these tactics, which are so tangible, so strong, how do you actually get people to, they see your coaching, they see the snippet of it, to convert to get on a sales call, to book your offer? Is it just what are the calls to action that you would recommend? Or what is that bridge from seeing the content to actually getting them to become a client?
Yeah. Well, hopefully they're on my list. If they've come to one of the events or if they're listening to the podcast, something has gotten them to my list. But
Hmm.
on the podcast, I will just say, like, grab the link in the show notes and book a chat with me. Like, low lift, I have like a 25-minute just conversation because I think if we're doing one on one work, we want to have one on one conversations with people. We want
Yeah.
to sell in the way we plan to serve.
Hmm.
And then in emails, it's the same thing. It's like, let's chat. I do a lot in my emails to just be available. I want people to respond, whether I'm selling in an email or not. I'm always like, hit reply and let me know. I'm here to help. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm helping with things that maybe aren't related with coaching. I'm looking for any ways to be someone who comes across as helpful and is always helping out. And that people think of in that way, right? I want to be generous so that when people think about me, that's the spirit that they're remembering.
Yeah. I love that, and I love the idea of selling in the way that you plan to serve. I think people have been a little, wary or cautious of sales calls recently, and, like, a lot of
Yeah.
it there's, like, a trend of, like, get clients just
Sell
from a
without
Google
sales
Doc.
calls.
Yeah, sell without sales calls,
Yeah.
which is totally a thing that you can do, but the idea of if you're gonna have a one-on-one call, like, you meet one-on-one every week on a call, it makes a lot of sense to first meet on a call. We don't do sales calls for my group program because you don't get one-on-one time with me. So I don't want you to be like, "Oh, I expect this." Like it's that sell in the way that you plan to serve, I think is a really good like nugget and takeaway as well.
Yeah, and I think for one-on-one coaching too, like you don't want to have someone send you a couple $1,000 without knowing who they are and that you can help them. Like
Mhm.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can this might be when they work with you separate, so let me know if this is something you touch on, but I know that so many people have issues with sales calls in general, like what to
Mhm.
say on them, how to close them, and that may be like a second tier.
Mhm.
But what would you at least say for somebody who's maybe worried about a sales call or hasn't done a sales call before? Like, how do you close a sales call?
Yeah. I love sales. It's one of my love languages for sure. And I train all the people that I work with on how to have them and how to fall in love with them because I think as coaches, we're actually really good at them. Because
Mhm.
a sales call is a time, when somebody comes and they share their vulnerable like hopes and dreams with you, and all we have to do is be curious and know some of the right questions to ask to get at like what's really not working for people, and then know some of the questions to ask about what do they really want on the other side of this work together, and then invite people to do the work with you. After that, you get to coach on objections, which should be all of our favorite parts because coaching is what we love to do. So I think it's just this really cool opportunity to be connected and caring and witness someone else in this really cool space. Like a consultation call is a very interesting hour in someone's life. We don't
Yeah.
do a ton of those, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's such a unique opportunity.
And I can just see the through line too of what you're saying is like the sales call is also a coaching opportunity. It's like
Yeah.
make the sales call a part of your coaching. Like it's just like be like really embody that you are a coach that can help them. And
Mhm.
that sales call is an opportunity to still showcase your coaching, but then also coach them through objections they might have,
Right.
coach them through that believing that this is possible for them. All of those
Yeah.
things are sales call things, but you don't have to worry about being good at sales and good at marketing and good at all these things if you
Mhm.
just focus on being good at coaching, which is your main service, then everything else can kind of fall into place.
Yeah. And really, a coaching call is a call where, I mean, some people are thinking, I have to get people to say yes.
Mm.
And then that brings in an agenda. And as coaches, we're not good at agendas. We're good at not having agendas.
Mhm.
So the shift I would offer for anybody listening is like, what if you went on the call without an agenda? And that the only thing that was going to happen there is the other person is going to make a powerful decision for themselves. And your job is to help them. Whether that's no, not right now, or yes, I'm going to do this thing, like all of those are the right answer as long as you help them get there with
Mm.
that like detached, like, let's just figure out what's going to be the best thing for you.
Love it. This was so helpful. If this was helpful for y'all, or if you plan on implementing one of these marketing opportunities and strategies in your business, drop in the comments and let us know because I'd love to hear. I need to get, but I might do the free coaching call once per month. Like that would be so, because I know I don't think I've exhausted. We do a lot of the webinars and to
Mhm.
just bring in like hey, here's a pop-up Airtable, ask me anything for the whole list,
Right.
ask anything. Um, I think that's such an easy thing for me to do, and I know that my audience would love it too. So
Yeah.
that's something that I'm definitely gonna think about. But
Cool.
any final words, and also let us know how we can follow you. All of the links will be below. But if there's a specific freebie or anything you want to shout out, definitely let us know.
Yeah. I mean, I think grab the freebie that we've been talking through today. I think that's a good place to start. And I just want to say thank you for having me. It's always fun to talk about this stuff, and I appreciate being here.
Yay! Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and Caryn, thank you so much for being here. And we'll see y'all in the next episode. I totally love this interview. If you have been treating marketing like it's a separate job from coaching, I hope this conversation helped you see that your best marketing can come from the coaching that you're already doing. Make sure to drop a comment below with your biggest aha or which one of Caryn's strategies you're actually going to be implementing. I will be here commenting along, cheering you on. And of course, please be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss an episode of Ashley Stays in Her Lane and all of our other amazing videos. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.